Welcome to this week's episode of the Boardroom Spotlight, the program that gives you unique access to thoughts and tactics of the most powerful corporate executives of our time. Come along as we examine the experiences and perspectives of visionaries who are revolutionizing leadership, innovation, and business. Sarah Musangu Mako, a dynamic and accomplished businesswoman with a diverse background. Sarah is a trained nurse, a loving mother and wife, and the proud owner of Royalty Makeup and Hair, Royalty Bridal Shop, and Royalty Events. With her expertise in both healthcare and the beauty industry, she has built a successful career while balancing her personal life with grace and dedication. Sarah's entrepreneurial spirit and passion for her work has made her a respected figure in both her professional and personal circles.
Before royalty, I was just a nurse. Probably I was a nurse by profession. I did my primary school in Kaoma. I was born in Kaoma, born and raised in Kaoma district, that is in Western Province. And I did my primary school at Kaoma, not Kaoma, but Mlamatila Basic. And then later on, when my dad passed on, I went to live with my aunt, who is the older sister to my mother, in Mongu, and I went to do my grade 6 and 7 at Katongo Primary School. And then from there, I passed to Holy Cross Girls, where I went just within, I think it was less than a week after reporting in grade 8, I was just like, this is not for me. I really wanted to be in boarding school because I think I was now is when I understand that I was depressed after my father's death. Then so I refused to go to Holy Cross Girls. Instead, I went to Kaoma Secondary School in boarding school, and that's where I did my grade 8 to 12. And from there, I went on to do my college, which is I went to do my diploma in nursing, which is registered nursing in Dola and Dola School of Nursing. And from there, I was posted to Chonga District Hospital, where I went to work as a registered nurse under the Ministry of Health. So that is basically who Sarah is before royalty. Okay, so I think royalty makeup and hair comes from a very humble background where I think to start with, I'll do my own makeup and it would look good. I'll do my own makeup, and then eventually I had friends. I would tell some of my friends, can I do your makeup? Can I do this? I'll just play around that until one time when one of my friends was getting married, and she insisted that I should do her makeup, and it was a challenge because for me by then I would just do my own makeup. I didn't know how to do another person's makeup, but I took it up and I did her makeup, and it really looked good, and everyone was praising it. And it was from that point on that everybody started just hiring me. Like, people were even willing to pay me to do their makeup. Then I said, oh, so this can actually be a business on its own. By that time, this makeup and hair business was not even that much common in Zambia. So yeah, it came from there, and from those same small bookings, it grew. It's like every time you did a new person, the makeup was getting better and better and better. I got to a place where I started even asking myself, like I've said, education is very important. So I started actually doing my own research and saying, how can I be better in this? So I started doing YouTubes. Until I even had to go to school for it. I had to go to a school of makeup actually. So it's those things that actually grew into this person that I am today. I think one of the things that really inspired me to start royalty makeup and hair was I think it was partly the struggle of school, because I think royalty was born while I was in university, and so partly because I had the passion as well. So I think I was at Apex that time. I was doing my degree in nursing, and just to have myself, like, sponsor myself. There was no government. The government did sponsor me, so I had to sponsor myself for my degree program. So from the nursing salary, you have to pay rentals, you have to pay other expenses, you have to pay for your school. So you find that the money wouldn't be enough, and then I kept on asking myself, what other thing can I do? So just to support myself, and I think that's how that business idea grew in me, and that's how I embraced it to this level. Challenges obviously are there, because I think we are coming from a generation. I had a morning talk with a radio show this morning, and I was telling them to say we are coming from a generation that taught us to say you need to go to school, you need to finish your school, then you go to college, then you get a job in government, and then you wait for your retirement, and then you die. Like, that was just the suit. But now the world has changed, it has revolved, and new things have emerged, and one of those is entrepreneurship, because jobs have become scarce, and there are many attributes that we can marry it to, but one of them that I can think about is back then the population was small, so people had jobs to do, but now the population has become bigger, so jobs are becoming fewer than the population. And then away from that also, the coming in of smart coming in of all these things, certain jobs that people would do then, they are unable to do them now because the computer is doing that job for you. So you wouldn't employ someone to do a job that the computer would do for you. So all those are attributes or factors that are contributing to less jobs on the market. Hence, when you look at that, then you need to get to a point now. You have to know that you need to get to a place where you need to create your own space of work, because even the government is becoming overwhelmed, because they're back. So what other way do we now survive? We need to go into all these entrepreneur, what can I call them, options and all those things, so that we learn how to create and survive on our own. You cannot live in the way back. Sometimes I even laugh when people go and start even like protesting, the government are not giving us jobs. No, we are way out of that way of living. We need to really think outside the box, because things have changed. We appreciate the knowledge that we get from school, because it's the same knowledge that gets you to a place where you are able to articulate things and you're able to make good judgments. So education is very important. We need it. But away from that, we need to learn how to think outside the box, because now life has evolved. Leadership skills. I remember learning that in nursing. One of the things that I have come to learn, or that I've embraced when it comes to leadership, is being objective. First and foremost, you need to learn how to be objective and assertive. Like, if I'm going to tell you something, I need to be assertive. I need to be clear to you and state it the way I want it to be done. Sometimes, like I said, to put people in line with your vision, it's something that is difficult. So if you yourself, you are not assertive, you are not straight to your point, and you are not on your point, it's easy for people to actually derail or run away from what you're trying to actually do. So for me, one of the things that I really embrace is, first, I set up objective. I'm assertive as a leader, and away from that as well, what other things that help me is that I do delegation. You know, yes, I'm royalty. People call me royalty, but I'm not royalty. But I know because I'm at the center of this brand, so I still embrace that. But away from that, I cannot do literally everything at the same time myself. You know, I have 3 businesses that I'm running. I have royalty makeup and hair at the studio. I have the royalty bridal store. I have the royalty event center. How am I going to be in 3 places at the same time? So I employ people and delegate things. So delegation is also one of the things that you can use in your leadership skills, because you can't take up all the it will burn you out. You can't take up all the responsibility upon yourself. By the way, I'm a mother of 4 and a wife and a daughter and a sister. But trust me, it's nothing easy. It's nothing easy in that being a parent, being a mother, like my youngest child is just like 5 months old. Like being there, being present in her life, it's something that is very crucial. But for me to balance that and also balance running these businesses, it sometimes clashes. Sometimes you just feel like you're failing. But to be honest with you, I think it also takes a certain type of grace and praying for you to actually get through it. There are times when I feel like I'm burning out. Sometimes I literally sit in this same chair and I cry. But I've taught myself if I have to cry, I'll cry, because it actually helps me ease in whatever emotions that I'm feeling. But to say that I'm on top of my game, I manage being a wife, I manage being a mother, believe you me, I don't. But I just try and juggle in between. And whenever I feel like I'm burning out, I always run on my knees to my God and just say, please, God, give me the grace, because God gives us responsibilities and still gives us the grace to actually sustain that position that we are holding. So for me, it's nothing easy. I can't even lie to someone to say, no, me, I've got it, or me, I manage being all this. No, I don't. Believe you me, I'm it's every day I'm learning. Every day it's a learning process. Entrepreneurship is not all rosy. There are a lot of failures, but obviously we don't always show people our failures. Mostly the side that people see is the success, you know. But believe you me, I can assure you that maybe it can even be a 50-50 game. 50 you win, 50 you lose. You understand? That is how it is. But embracing both the wins and the losses is very important, and how you handle them is actually going to determine how far you go with that business. Because losses, sometimes they can actually be very destructive, they can be actually very discouraging. So it is how you handle them and how you manage them that will determine how far you go. So for me, I've learned to accept the losses as they come. But again, I don't just accept any loss as long as it's called a loss. Like some people just said, oh no, business is so chubby, so you just accept. No, you need to fight. You need to fight. Know when to, okay. Also, just know when to fight and when not to fight. Some things, yes, we just accept them, you let them go. But sometimes learn to fight. So that even at the point at which you have failed, you still feel like, okay, I have failed at this point, but I gave it my best shot. So for me, it's just the embracing of both of them and running along with them and knowing how to manage them is what has kept me going. Okay, so let me say, for example, I think the time that I was building the event center, it was like I found the plot for the event center almost at the same time as this place here. So I paid for the event center property, and then when I was just like about to finish, I think just remaining with maybe 20% or 15% of the payment, this property came on. And when I came here, the owners told me that they wanted cash money. And I knew that I didn't have that cash money, but then I was just thinking, like, where am I going to get this money? Because even just for me to get the property for the event center, like, that wasn't a cheap buy, it was an expensive buy. So I'm asking myself, where am I going to get this? Like, I remember at one point where I literally didn't have any savings in my account. Like, every coin that would come, I'll just direct it there. Until I sat myself down and I said, you know what? You can't save two masters at the same time. Fine, plot daibola. So what we are going to do is this. Like, I advised myself, I sit myself down there. So I told myself, fine, since there the plot is almost done, fine, let's leave that one. It's already secured. Let's concentrate on this. So I started concentrating on this. Then now, after I bought this property, then I was asking myself, now what do I do? Which one is going to bring more income? Is it the event center or the plaza? Then I started debating, and then I said no, the event center. So I started building the event center. Then at the same time, I was also trying to build here, but then it made me, I think at that point is when I learned that I can't do two things. That's when I told myself to say, you know what, Sarah, if you have to go far in this life, you need to learn how to do one thing at a time. Okay, so it's at that point that I learned that I can't juggle in between two projects, because obviously the resources are not going to be able to, that it's not a doable thing looking at my income. So I decided to say, okay, fine, I'll concentrate on one. But then just at the point where you have to like bring yourself down, have a discussion and say you need to be at a place where you do one thing at a time, it's kind of actually makes you feel low, because it's like you have these expectations of yourself, you've set these objectives, you've set these goals, and then you just have to like shut one go down and just concentrate on one. So it makes you feel some type of way. But then, like I've said, those are things that I have learned along the way. Another thing that I learned out of a setback is I think you saw earlier last year where I was dragged on Facebook. I was really dragged because of a client whose makeup, one of my girls did makeup, and the client was happy with the makeup. And actually I saw the person and she was really nice. She was looking nice. I'm not even trying to be defensive. The client was looking nice because I actually met her in person. But then it's one of those things where she took a bad photo, which to herself she said she likes it. So, if you tell me you like something, there's really little that I can do as a person, you understand? So this person says, me, I like it, me, I love how I'm looking and everything. But yet when she posted that photo, it tears mixed emotions out there. And now everyone was coming after me. Now look, in this business, I've made friends and I've made enemies. Some, probably, maybe I can say 80% of those people are maybe people that some of them just don't like me. Some of them is maybe just out of jealous. Some of them is maybe just out of envy. Like there are different things, reasons. But some of them, maybe even myself, I might have offended them in one way or the other, you understand? So, when that came up, it was like an opportunity for everyone who thought they had the scores to settle with me to just say whatever that they wanted to say, to just, and it was really something that really weighed me down. For the first time, I felt like going online to defend myself. But eventually, it's something that weighed me down. But again, it brought me to a place where I got to be noticed even by people that did not know I existed, because the more everyone talked about me, the more everyone was curious to find out, who is this royalty? Why are people so concerned about what she's done? And then people would go to my page and start going through my things, and then they would find some good works. And then they start going, no, never mind. I know I saw you from a bad review, but I think you're doing an amazing job, so I want to come through. So people would come, So it's like I had all these big people that I've worked with, even whatever, just a lot of people, even my clients, they reached out to me and said, Sarah, you know what? We know who you are, and some of us, we appreciate what you do. Don't let this weigh you down. I know this is just one of those things, but don't let it get to you. Just stand tall and just embrace it to be just one of those things that happens in life, and just move on, because in all sincereness, you've worked hard to get here. Don't allow that to get to you. And it's out of those encouragement, it's out of all those feedback that I got to realize that, so there can actually be something good that can come out of a bad situation. Trust me, the person that was doing this is someone who is out there, out of the country. So everyone who's out of the country who follows her now started, and I've had people actually confessing. So it's sometimes it's bad situations that bring out the best out of us. So that is me learning that sometimes, like I said, it's not every battle that we have to fight. Even when I felt like defending myself, I still sat myself down and people talked to me and I listened and I said, you know what, let me just keep quiet. This too shall pass. And it passed. And here we are. We are still standing strong and we're still doing our business and it's still going perfectly well. In the next 5 to 10 years, let me say that by that time I'll be like, I'll be very old. Not very old. One thing I'll tell you is that I think in our generation between 1980 to somewhere 99, I think this generation has refused to grow old. Because then when we used to have aunties, when you hear that your auntie is 30 years old, you think, like, even when you look at them, you look old. But now, if I tell you that I'm 36 and I'm looking this young, I don't even feel that old. So when I look at myself in the next 5 to 10 years, I think I've already started actually working on my next 10 years, where I want to be in the next 10 years. And that is why you are seeing me diversifying my business, because obviously in the next 5-10 years I will not be this young, and I cannot stand for very long hours like I have been doing in the past, because obviously age also is catching up with me. So that's why you have seen me diversify into different other businesses, so that I don't shoot myself in the foot. So for me, in the next few years, you'd see a lot of diversification from my end. You see me in real estate, you see me in makeup products, you see me in all other businesses, because like I've said, the business that I've been doing of late is a business that requires me to stand literally the whole time. So you find that I would stand from 01, sometimes I would stand from midnight, or from 01 to 21 hours, I'm just standing. That is because I'm a youth, I'm a young girl. But then come 10 years from now, with all these children that I'm having, I'm also growing old, I'll not be able to. So I am looking at myself diversifying into businesses that might not require my constant presence for me to do. I can still be operating as a makeup artist, except I might not have the same energy and strength that I used to have before. So I'm diversifying my business into things that I feel are going to not need my constant presence, and they can still give me constant income. What legacy would I want to leave, you guys? Okay, I think so far for me, I feel like I've impacted and touched so many lives. I've trained a lot of makeup artists, actually. I've trained a lot of hairstylists, and I want to be remembered for the jovial, humble person that I am. And away from that, I also want to be remembered to have been someone who was focused, and they brought the best out of the talent, out of entrepreneurship, out of a small business. They rose to their highest level because they were focused, they were determined to bring the best out of it. And that's a legacy I want to leave. I want someone, when they think about me, when they think about royalty, the first thing that comes to their head is hard work and smart work. Not just hard work, but also smart work. They should be able to see or feel the determination and the focus that comes with my name. They should be able to be at a space where they can say, you know what, if she can do it, I personally can also do it. I honestly feel bad when I look at sometimes when you look at people who are doing very well, and then all of a sudden you find that everything just goes away. It's really becomes like I don't feel like it's right for you to rise to the top and then just come crumbling down like boom. For me, I feel like we can always do something better. I don't want to sit tomorrow and someone is say, let's contribute for Shan. If you want to contribute and give to me, it is fine. But I still want to be at a space where I'm able to provide for myself. I'm able to still provide for my family. I'm able to still be able to leave something for my children and even their children. I still want to, even in my grave, to still be able to pay for my grandchildren's school. So for me, the legacy I leave on to my children is me building assets for them that are going to stand the test of time. It's me, if I'm going to look at someone who looks at me as who is just royalty, someone who doesn't know me, I want them to look at me and see a flash of hope to say, you know what? You can actually start from somewhere small. You can be a career person. You can be a civil servant and just rise to the top of whatsoever gift that God has blessed you with. You know, that is who I want people to look. When they look at me, they should see that hope. They should see that future. They should see that possibility to rise to the top. I'm not yet where I want to be, but I think I'm on the right road to where I want to be. So if you're going to look at me, I want you to look at me and see that hope of saying, I can also do it. You know, there are people that I used to aspire, there are people that used to inspire me, that I used to look up to, and I was like, if I can know this woman, I know they're my mentors, like I'm with them. So it doesn't cease to be an inspiration, by the way, but these are people that I feel whenever I'm in their space, I feel there's a type of growth that comes upon me, or there's a type of wisdom that rubs on me. You know, I feel some form of contentness in me. I've worked with big people, good people that I grew up looking up to. I'll give you an example. I've worked with Mampi. She's one of those great people that I adore so much. She's a sister now to me. I've worked with Musangu. Those are people that I look up to and I admire. I've worked with, you know, some of these other people I cannot mention because they're in top government offices and I wouldn't want to look like I'm advertising them, you know. So I've worked with top people that I've worked with the judge, some of the judges and all those, like there are women that when I look at, they're women of substance. So for me, I always feel some form of contentment in me because I've worked with women that I really feel I can look up to. And thank God, most of those women that I've worked with, if not all of them actually, they are people that I can simply dial and just say, you know what, I need you to help me. How should I go about this? Or what should I do in this situation? And they'll always like be there to help and just tell me or guide me to say, this is how you do this. So for me, I don't even like have someone I can say, okay, if I went to America, I can just do this. Like there's no one. Like my big heroes are right here and I've worked with them. God has blessed me to a place where I've worked with them. So I feel content. Like I don't even have that aspiration of saying, if I went higher than this, I would still be okay. I worked with international artists like these girls from South Africa and all those things. So for me, I really feel some form of content. Growth is something that is inevitable. Like it will happen, you know. However, let me say, growth does not just happen. You need somehow to make it happen. I don't know if that is growth or development. But what I'm just trying to say is that in the journey of growth, you need to understand there are many people that feel like if I have to start something, I have to start big. God has blessed us differently. There are people that can start big. I'll give you a very practical example. God forbid if today I died, I don't think my children will have to start from level 0 because I have left one or two things for them to start on. On the contrary, I had to start from level 0 because obviously that's how just probably it was meant to be. You understand what I'm trying to say? So different people start at different levels of life. but say maybe even 80% of us will have to start from zero. Maybe just the 20% is the population that is lucky enough to start from somewhere where you can say, no, me, my father left me this, me, my mother left me this, then you continue from there, which is actually not even very common in our African setup. You understand? So for me, I think embracing small beginnings is very important. I have a royalty brand line, a makeup line that is producing different types of makeup products. And part of those products is we have foundations. I'll give you foundation so that you try it on. We see first. I'll try you on a foundation, you see. We have nice foundations, very nice. So these foundations, they come in different shades, and we even have the darkest person that you can think of. Even him have his shade. So as you can see, these are different types. Like we have over almost 10 different shades. Yeah. So we have over 10 different shades that caters for all shades that we can think of in Zambia. Yeah. So this is our makeup brand. And these products are on sale just here at Royalty Makeup and Hair Studio in Kawata. Just upstairs, we have a specific shop that we are branding for our products. So this is another business actually that we've been running. We've been selling these products, except we needed to have a big launch for them. But because I've been too preoccupied, we've not been able to have that big launch. But we are planning on launching these products officially. But these products are available on the market. Okay, so for the makeup artists out there, for women out there that wants to have their own foundation, these are the products that you need. You need this kind of long-lasting, matte, full coverage, waterproof foundation to actually use. Away from that, we also have powders. The powders that we have also, we have different shades, starting from the lightest, going to the darkest. Like we have a line of about 7 different types of foundation powder shades. So you can also come through and buy powder from us. We have eyebrow gels, we have eyebrow gels, and we have lipsticks. We have just different types of products that we are selling here at Royalty. So for those that wants to come through, you are welcome. I just want to show you, this is our brow gel. It's called Lolani. This one is named after my daughter Lolani, my second born. Yeah, so it's a very nice shade for medium toned people. This is light and medium toned. It's a very light brown, nice shape. Oh, where my lipstick? Oh, this is a Musangu lipstick. Musangu lipstick. They were laughing at me when I was saying it's Musangu. This lipstick is quite nice because it's a daily use lipstick. It's a pale pink kind of lipstick that you can use on yourself every day. Like it's not lips, it's more like it's a gloss. So it's more of just a moisturizer on your lips, and it's a it has that small pinkish texture on your lips. So yeah, it's the one that I'm wearing. So it doesn't get to give you much color, but it just leaves you in between there. So yeah, we have different products. We have lipsticks, we have foundations, we have serums, we have powders, we have eyeshadows, it's a whole brand.
Thank you for watching this episode of the Boardroom Spotlight. We hope our chat with Sarah Musangu Mako was informative and educative. Keep checking back for more episodes where we'll share more visionary minds who keep coming up with new innovative ideas that are changing the business world today. Till the next time.